Hey you guys, it's Dani, and we are flashing back to September and October 2021. These past 2 months have been spectacular. They have been hella fun. Mostly with Mabon coming in and then Samhain already wrapped up. It's just so many things go on. Everything is happening that's just hella fun. So we've had a great time these past 2 months. Matter of fact, in September, we'll just dive right in, you guys. In September, on the 13th, I did Wine and Witchcraft for the first time, where we talked about tarot and oracle. If you guys do not follow Wine and Witchcraft, it is a collab channel between the Sunshine State Witch, I can't say it fast because I'll stumble my words, the Sunshine State Witch, Brittany, and the Witch of Enchantment, Justin. They have Wine and Witchcraft, and it was so much fun. It was a blast, and I absolutely loved it. So they had me on, and so it started off with a bang. Just the best time. What else happened in September? We had 3 fat readers. We did tarot collections, which was fun, where we kind of talked about how we collect, what we collect, why, all the ins and outs. We didn't show our collections, but we did kind of go through that, which was a lot of fun because we are 3 totally different collectors, right? Like, our differences are very vast when it comes to acquiring and getting rid of decks and how we keep them. So that was a lot of fun, which kind of rolls us into October, which was a hella busy month. Like, we always have a jam-packed October, and I don't mind at all. We have birthdays and all kinds of cool stuff that always goes on. Matter of fact, we hosted a gender reveal for my brother and sister-in-law. We're gonna have a little boy. I'm gonna have a nephew coming this spring, so I'm super excited about that. Matter of fact, I cheated last time because in September, on the 1st, my niece was born. So I'm a very happy Tonty. I am loving on that baby all the time I can. And so I just can't wait until he is here so I can love on that baby too. So we did that in October. What else? It was Lennon's birthday. So we took a little trip to Texas. We went down to Galveston. Her godfather lives there. So we went hang out and took a trip to the beach, which was super fun. Played in the sand. I call it my sea witch hagstone. Let me show her to you. And I say her because she's got a cute little face on there. So I found her in the sand by chance because there was no shells in the sand when we went, and we were looking and looking because that's one of my little girl's favorite things to do, and we couldn't find any. And then I came across her and I said, well, she's coming home with me. So we snatched her up. What else? We also had Lennon's birthday. It was a Halloween theme, so we had a hella good time. We wore our little Halloween shirts and Halloween colors and had a whole fun jump. So we were just hosting things at the house, as we normally do in October. That's usually when all the festivities start. What else? Let's see. Oh, well, of course, we had 3 Fat Readers Halloween, which, if you didn't see that, I would highly recommend. We had the best time. We dressed up, of course, and no one knew what we were going to be. We did not tell each other. It was a complete surprise, and we revealed it at the very beginning to ourselves as well as to you guys, and it was pretty epic. It was hella fun. It was just one that we were definitely off script. We talked about our Halloween traditions, the things that we remember, the things that we love, movies and tarot and rituals and all the other things. So it was a lot of fun this month. Also, we'll skate it in to journals and stuff. I did Inktober this year, which I have never done. So I snatched up my little sketchbook. I snagged this one at a craft store, and I have to say, like, the paper is okay, but it's very construction paper-esque. And I find that it's really easy to puncture. Like, if you use mechanical pencils at all, like, I just felt that it was a little messy. You know what I mean? I was scared to poke through. But I had an absolute blast. What I will do is, maybe I'll do a quick flip through of everything, on a reels or something. What are they called on here? Shorts? So I did, this is my splat. You can see it from the back. That was really fun to draw. I was like, how is it harder to draw something with no shape at all? It's strange. But anyway, I had a really good time doing these. We had a spark. I literally drew a spark plug. Crispy chicken. What else? Anything else of note? I'll show you guys, like I said, in the loop. Maybe in a shorts. I'll go through and I'll flip through my whole thing. But I had a blast doing Inktober. Like I said, I've never sat and did it before, and it was really fun. So I have this, and I plan on definitely doing this again, because it really made me think. And like, there were some that were like, what am I gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, what? I don't know. It gets your imagination going. Get your pen on the paper. Like, some of them look like hot garbage. No lie, hot garbage. Oh yeah. Like, watch. I did the TARDIS. It gets your mind going. Like, some of them are hot garbage and some are really good. Yeah, so anyway, it was fun. On to other journals and such. So, my planner. I got the weeks. I think we talked about it last time, because I got it in September. So I may have talked about it, or talked about switching in the last one, but I did, because this is set up exactly like I was doing it. So there are months in the front, and then it goes into the weeks, and it has a blank page and all this. And I was like, oh, I really, really like this because I don't have to write it out anymore. So I can just put it all in there. And again, it's just working so well for me in this format, that not having to draw out all the lines, where I can just fill it all in, was really nice. Now, this is a weeks. This is from Amazon. It is not the Hobonichi, but it's very similar. It's got thicker paper though. And I made this. This is one of the botanicals that I usually I etch on the bottles in my shop. But I got this little cover in. It has a little pin loop here. This is from Kate O'Hara. It's a three-legged rabbit. Three-footed? Feeted? How would you say that? A rabbit with 3 feet in the triangle. Right here, which I absolutely love. My little cat paperclip. But I have really been loving this. This is something that I don't think I will part with. It's, like I said, it was the same as in my other journal that I was making. So this just kind of fit perfectly. So I don't have to worry about changing it. It came in a pack of 2. So I have this one. So I got the green and the navy. And so this will be for next year. And there's a couple of blank pages in the back, like just blank. There's nothing on them. There's no graph or anything. But they're really nice to have. Back there I'm planning my sister-in-law's baby shower, so I have like notes on that in the back. I also have my books written in the back. That way I can keep track of those throughout. And so it's just really nice to have these, and then of course a test page where I can see where the inks, which they do really well. I mean, look at that. There's barely any bleed, which I really like. I really like it. Yes. So I just got stickers all over the place. This one from one of the decks that I'm going to show. But this is where my planner is. This is where it's going to stay. Like I said, the only reason I switched to this was because it was the same exact thing that I was drawing out, but I didn't have to always draw out the calendar. I'd rather just date it than have to draw it all out every month, because then it gets messy, and then that bothers me, and OCD with that. So there's that. But in its place, I went ahead, this again is from the Portland leather one. I went ahead and made and bound a little booklet for myself. It's got all kinds of fun little things. But I've been writing in it. I started it with an oracle reading, and then I've just kind of been writing. So it is a journal. But it is one that is very personal and very particular. So I have this, but I did 3 inserts as I normally do, just all kinds of really fun stuff that just were like bright and happy and shiny and pink, which I don't normally go towards, but I was really loving all of these papers. So I decided to make that. So it fits really nicely in here. I can put it on the other side like this, and it works pretty well, but it was getting kind of bent up, and I wanted that flexibility if I wanted to take it out and write. So I just stuck it in one side, and so that leaves this one for whatever else I want to shove in there. So that's been really nice. As for my other personal one, I've been really continuing on in this one, a little less stickers and stuff as I was putting in. It was starting to get really bulky, but if I find something every once in a while, I'll just shove it in. But I've been writing in there as just like a personal journal, which is really nice. So that is still going strong. So let's see. Oh, and then I do have them around here. I am in the process of making another set of journals for my shop. I'm really, really excited for these. I have one that is done. This is Cito. She is very beautiful. Some autumnal vibes in here, harvesty vibes. We have a coyote howling at the moon, and it says sing a song. So this is a very lovely one, and I'll do a video on these. But I've been making these the past 2 months. They take a hot minute sometimes. The second one has yet to be named. Well, she's been named, but she's not done. This one is very kind of like celestial and white. So you can see she's getting all of her embellishments in there. So I am doing this one. And then the last one, which is a chunker. She's a chunker. She is in red and black, and I can't wait to do her. She has not started yet, but she's got some pretty interesting things in here. And so I have been making these and passing the time away doing that, which I have loved. So yeah, that's what we have for journals. Let's move into books. I got a few. Okay, so in September, I only read one book, and that was this. Look at how jacked this is, y'all. This is old. This is called Night Rituals. This is by Michael John, I believe you say it. or Han. I found this in this place called the Book Rack that we have. It's about 30 minutes, 45 minutes away, maybe a little less. It just feels like it's forever away. I used to go there every once in a while as a kid. I was an avid reader of Fear Street, and I had a huge collection. So I would go and look for those kind of books and old Stephen King novels and things like that. We had one locally, but the big one was in Karen Crow. So I decided to go. I was like, I'm going to go back. So I went, and I was like, oh my God. Floor to ceiling, like if there was a fire hazard, this would be it. It was nuts inside. So I talked to the girls that were working there, because of course I hear them mentioning something about tarot, and I was like, you have stuff on tarot in here? And they were like, oh no, what we were saying was we couldn't take anything on tarot or witchcraft or anything of the sort, because the lady that runs it makes them rip them up and throw them in the trash. And I was like, what? So that's a thing. Okay. So anyway, not going back there. However, that was, of course, after I had already gathered a couple of paperbacks that I wanted. So I was like, whatever, we're gonna get these, we're gonna go. But we were talking about that. They're pretty wild about it too. They were like, I don't even want to tell her when stuff like this wants to come in. And I'm like, that's insane. But that's a rant for another day. Anyway, so I grabbed a few of these. I have a couple more by my bedside that are in the process of being read. We're gonna read. But they were super cheap, $1 or so. And this was one that I found tucked away in the horror or thriller section, because at least they let them have that. Anyway, this is Night Rituals, and this was about a serial killer. It was very interesting. I thought I knew who it was. I was wrong. I love it when I'm wrong because I'm a guesser. So this was a pretty interesting book. I would probably give it about a 4, really. I would definitely read it again. I don't think that I will, but if I had to read it over, I would. It was really interesting. I found that the characters were really good. Like, I really liked the narrator, the way that everything was kind of set up. It was good. Because we got backstories, even though we didn't really need them, but they really helped bring the characters to life. I don't know if you can still get this. Part of mine was damaged, but I could still read. Like, it only took off a little bit. This was done in the 80s. So this printing was 84. So it's as old as me. So if I can find it, I'll put a link for it down below. But this was a pretty good book. Basic cop, serial killer, love interest kind of vibe. It was good. Then into October. That's the only one I read, physical read, in September. Now in October, I listened to a few and I read a few. So here's where it all comes in. So my first one, let's talk about the audiobooks, and I'll put a picture of those. The first audiobook I wrote, I have my stuff written here because I'm not going to remember. The first one was The Diviners by Libba Bray. This was so good. And it's so funny because I watched Lisa at Lisa Papez. I watched her reads, her October ones, or maybe it was her September, I don't remember. But I had already read it when I watched her video, and she was like, I was reading The Diviners, but it was too spooky, so I put it away. And I was like, what? I loved The Diviners. There are 2 more in the series that I know of. I have not started on those yet. I was kind of waiting because I listened to that one. I would really like to listen to the other 2. And I don't know if my library has the second one. I couldn't find it. But it has the third one on audio, so I'm really hoping that they get the second one in. So I'm kind of waiting on that. And I went check, and it was already checked out. But The Diviners was really good. It was kind of spooky, but in a good way. So there was a spirit that was somehow let loose. There has been this prophecy of these diviners. So it's all different people with kind of different gifts. So one can touch things and know about the person. I forget what that one's called. Some are clairvoyant, sentient, all these things. And so it's kind of, the first book is kind of them somehow kind of all scrunching together in this one place. So it's kind of like you have a bunch of different stories and they're all kind of interweaving themselves together. So I'm really curious to see how this goes. I would give this one a 5 out of 5 because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the idea of the shadow man that has come forth, the story behind everything, because like it's also told from like you mainly follow this girl who goes to her uncle's in New York, and he owns this kind of occult style, paranormal style museum. So you get to have that kind of like reference of like the background, the history of it. So it's really, really interesting. I really love it. I'm gushing about it. I would definitely recommend The Diviners. So I'm excited to continue reading those. Those were a lot of fun. The next one that I listened to was nasty. It was Filthy Rich by about Jeffrey Epstein. This was by James Patterson. It had popped up, and I haven't watched the Netflix series. I believe it's based on that. It's based on the book and the research that James Patterson did, along with probably updated stuff because it was a hot minute ago. Just the absolute most shit person, Jeffrey Epstein, kind of talking about what he's done and the things that have come out and kind of where he was and his like rise. It was all right. You know what I mean? Like, I listen to a lot of true crime. I ingest a lot of true crime in many different ways, whether that be watching or listening or reading or researching, whatever it is. I love a good true crime. With this, I just feel like there's so much stuff that we still don't know that it makes it really frustrating. You know what I mean? And like, it was okay. Like, I've read better. I've listened to better explanations of his story. I did like the fact that there was a lot of kind of testimony kind of put in there. Court proceedings that were like the transcribed documents. I really liked that because I like to hear like the actual things that were said and the things that went on. So that was really good. I listened to it in about a day and a half. Fair warning, I listened to all my stuff. I think I've mentioned this before, but I listened to it on about 1.75, sometimes 2 times the speed. So I go through audiobooks fairly quickly just because if I don't put the speed up, then I don't pay attention. So my mind has to be engaged with it. So there's that. So it took me about a day, maybe a day and a half to go through that one. And it was, like I said, I've read better. I've listened to better. So I would probably give that one about a 2. I mean, not just for the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is a piece of shit, but mostly just for the writing. It was okay. Okay, for the physical books, I can't show you the first one because it's on my phone. It's on my Kindle. But I got the first run of Soul Plumber, which is a new comic book, which I don't normally read. But this is by the guys from Last Podcast on the Left, which I am a huge fan. Matter of fact, I get to go see them in December. So excited. Anyway, they put out Soul Plumber, so I got the first, I want to say the first edition. That is not what you call it. The first book, comic, whatever. I don't know comics. Don't at me, okay? But I got the first one and I read it. It was really, really great. I love the artwork. I'll put that down below where you can go and see it. I don't remember the artist's name, but the guys who wrote it came up with the idea, the concept. It was Marcus Parks, Henry Zabrowski, and Ben Kissel. I think Marcus had a big part in actually writing the comic. I think Henry as well, but Ben was just like part of the idea process. So they have come out with this, and I would definitely, I don't know yet. Like, I feel like I just got introduced to Soul Plumber, so I don't really have a huge opinion of it yet. I love the art, like I said. So I'm really excited to see how this grows, because I don't know comics. Like, I never got into comics. I've read maybe 2 graphic novels before. It's just not part of my repertoire, if you will. So I'm really new to this, so I'm just kind of waiting. So yeah, I don't really know yet, but it was great so far, I guess. Up next was something, again, I've never read before. So this is called Curiosity Killed the Cat Sitter. And by what I've never read before, I mean, obviously I never read it, I'm reading it. But I meant the genre, if you will. When I was at the book rack, the girl was like, oh, do you like cozy mysteries too? And I was like, I've legit never heard of a cozy mystery. I do not know what this is. I was like, is it romance novels? Because I'm really not so into that. And she was like, no, this is a cozy mystery. So it's like a mystery and you follow like, murders or something, but it's like in a different kind of setting. And I was like, color me intrigued. What you got? So she brought me this. This is the first book in the Dixie Hemingway mysteries. By Blaise Clement. And so, I mean, I didn't hate it. It was okay. Like, it was definitely much lighter. But at the same time, like, it was a good story. So, Dixie is obviously a pet sitter. But she was part of the sheriff's department. I don't remember if she was like a deputy or if she was just part of the department. I don't remember the exact things. But something happened to her child and her husband. And so now she lives with her brother and his partner. I think it might be his husband. But I don't remember if they were married or not. So his partner, whatever it was. I think they were. Anyway, I'm in the weeds. They live out in Florida, and after she resigned, after that happened, she obviously was having a lot of struggles getting through with the loss of her child and her husband. So she had to resign from the sheriff's department. So she started this pet sitting business, and she walks in one day to one of the places where she cat sits, and there is a dead man. And so all hell ensues. There is all kind of twists and turns. Again, I kind of figured it out. I had an idea, but it still played out really, really well. It was definitely, it did get you in your feels a little, but it wasn't too bad. Like, it wasn't anything like crazy, but it was a good story. Especially because, like, there was a lot of, like, mystery to it, right? There was some stuff where I felt like it could have been done better, but again, I'm coming from a horror, thriller, true crime perspective, so it's not going to have those same type of elements. This is going to be a little more cozy, if you will. So there wasn't anything, like, gruesome, there wasn't anything crazy, but there was a nice, thrilling storyline. And when you find out who did it, it is kind of surprising. But I really did like the way that it ended. Will I read her other ones? I don't know. I'll leave it open because Dixie was a very interesting character. I was expecting to hate her. I'm not going to lie. Just because when I went into this, I was like, I want to try it. But, like, all I kept thinking was, like, is this going to be some, like, mushy little thing? And it wasn't. Like, she was a rough and tumble character, and I did enjoy her. So maybe. But it was very different. I would probably give this, I don't know, I would give this 3 stars, because it was really good, you know, but it wasn't in the great, you know, spectrum, but it was pretty good. I read it really quickly. So, yeah, it was a nice, quick, chill read, but still had murder. So, on to my last one. My sweet friend Tara, who runs Read My Lips podcast. Guys, if you haven't listened to this and you're a fan of romance or dark romance or weird romance, which is one of my favorite episodes. Oh, my chair is so loud, y'all. I will get a new one. I promise. Anyway, when I was on, I think last year, we were talking about vampires and things like that. And she sent me over Chastely Bitten by Lexi C. Foss. This is a Blood Alliance series. And so I had started it and I was like, oh no, I really want to wait until spooky time to read it. You know what I mean? Cause I fell in love with it the second I started. I was like, oh wow, this just starts. Like, you're just in it, right? So it is kind of a darker romance because we are talking about, oh my gosh, let me see if I even know the terms. Sort of like a dom submissive relationship, because this is about the Blood Alliance. So we see a vampire and his blood virgin, but he is trying to buck the system. This is a whole world, and I think that's why I liked it so much, because this was world building. So it's like vampires and lichens were found out centuries before, and so when they were found out, they kind of put themselves in charge, and humans were now second-class citizens. Now they're basically, the human race is enslaved. They have different kind of, I don't even know what you would call them, different things that they could be. Like, you're either like blood virgins, which are like trained to be partners, slaves to vampires. There are the working class, which are like servants. There are ones that fight to be immortal. Like, I don't know, there's like a lot to it, but like all in the background of just some really good smutty things. You know what I mean? Like, it was a lot of fun. I much rather this over some of the other like romance and dark romances that I've read, which haven't been much. Just because, I don't know, like I don't know, it's just not something that I was ever introduced to, that they had this kind of genre in romance. So Tara has opened my eyes to it, and I thank you. I thank you, my dear. This was incredible. So I am definitely going to get another one. I think this is, it has 6, I think, so far in the series. Might be done, might not be. I don't know. But I am going to be getting another one. The next one, I think it goes through and shows, from what I'm understanding, different perspectives. So we were in vampire territory. We got introduced to the lichen territory, but I think that we followed Darius and Juliet, his blood virgin, and I think in the next one we follow a completely different person. There are like royal families within, and different things like that. So it was kind of dark. It was incredibly interesting. Honestly, I would give this a 5 because I'm keeping it. I will probably read it again, and I am going to continue on with the series because it's like got an interesting story, you know, like the concept of this world. Usually at world building, you usually got me if it's done well, and I really think that it is. So Chastely Bitten, if you're interested in vampire stories and that elements of romance and kind of that dom submissive vibe, so be prepared for that. And there's also non-consent, so I'm trying. I don't know all the triggers, but yeah. Anyway, it was really good, so I really enjoyed it. So those are all the books I know that was a lot. That was a handful. The decks are not going to be any better, you guys. Buckle in. Let me take a sip of my protein drink. There are a lot of decks, but that normally happens in this time of year. When autumn hits, it's like I usually just go with whatever energy I'm feeling that day. Because sometimes it feels more like earthy and, you know, grounded. And other days it just feels like Halloween or, you know, something crazy like that. So I tend to switch a lot. I did use some that I don't have here, just some honorable mentions, because I would have literally had to pull like 20 decks out. But I did start using my Halloween tarot, which does come out around this time of year. I did a few spreads with that. I had a great time with it. The Wildwood Tarot, which I'm still using, that's up on my shelf over here. I normally use that this time of year on through the winter. So that's going to be pretty much a staple, the Wildwood Tarot. I did use Lady Wilhelmina's. I always get the name of that one wrong, but it's the Autonomal Tarot deck. I did use that one. That was really interesting. Did not immediately bond with it like I thought I would have, but I'm still working through it. So that one is something that I'm still kind of going back and forth, and I'm still using. Like, I don't know if the vibes are right. And I searched everywhere, and I waited for so long for that deck. But anyway, it's just one of those things. I'm not sure about it just yet. I need to use it a little more. But it would definitely be one that I feel like I would only use for me. So I don't really have much to say about it right now. So I'll just wait. Okay. Ones that I have here, though. Let's talk about the oracles that I've used first. Now, back here, you're going to see the Botanical Inspirations. I've been using that a lot. A lot. But I've also been using, I put it in a little bag because it's got a huge box, the Mass Market, because I do have the indie one as well, but this is the Mass Market Hedge Witch Botanicals, and I've been using this and the Botanical Inspiration. I just threw cards behind me. I've been using this, I swear, it feels like for months. Like, they don't really leave my side. I just feel like they go with so many decks. Like, they have this kind of simplicity to both of these. One, of course, is like cream colored and dark, while this one is bright and, again, so simple, pops of color, that I just find myself loving it. And I really like this set, the Mass Market, because everything is on the front. I like the indie version, especially to put on like my altar and stuff when I'm working with plant medicine or things of that nature. I like to put it up there because, of course, you would just get like this for the juniper berries, but all of that would be on the back. So I really do love that this Mass Market is set up the way that it is. I've been really enjoying it. So that's been going with everything. And I will say, I'm going to show you the tarot with it. I said I was going to do oracles. We'll have one more oracle, but it goes so well with this. So this is Tarot de Carlotides. This is a Spanish tarot. I want to say, I'll have it linked down below. This is the company that does it. Fournier. But I believe that Los Scarabeo has it on their site as well. I don't even remember where I got mine, honestly. I think mine came from Amazon Spain, I believe. I opened this and immediately took it out, and it's been living on top of my tarot spread box because I have not put it away. FYI, I have not put it away. I am in love. So this is Tarot de Carlotides. I don't know why it's a mouthful to say. I don't know why I thought this was only in Spanish, but they might have. I've literally not looked at it. I've literally not looked at this. If I have, it was like one time. They have it in French. They do have it in English. They do have it in English. It's very basic. So it's like the normal position, reverse position, and it's keywords. So there is an English part in this interesting little white book because this is the side and it's folded, but it opens like this. So I thought that was pretty neat. Like I said, I took it out of the box and it's been right there. I don't even have it in a bag yet. It's literally lived there because I am in love with it. I have used it over and over and over again, and it looks so good alongside this botanical. I think it's because of the way that it, the way that the art is, it like complements it because of these like the line work, and then the like funky little line work on these. And this is, I don't know, it kind of has like it gives me the same like vibes as the Black Lily. Black Lily, in the way that it's like, I don't know, in the way that the art is, but it is a life of its own. And there are oh, that was right side up. There are pop culture references. Here's one. A little bit of Bowie, right? Some Bowie vibes. We have midsummer vibes. I can't talk. We had some like 1930s kind of vibes. We have I was trying to see if I could find the one from what reminds me of Midsummer, the movie. But I mean, look at this. Look at how beautiful this is. Oh, I love it. Look at this. Swords. So good. Anyway, I have yet to put it down. I love it. I've been using it for everything. For myself, for clients. And look at these backs. Like, I know I'm totally gushing. I'm going to do a walkthrough of this. I haven't done walkthroughs in a hot minute. I have not. So we'll do a walkthrough of this. I have another one that just came in that I'm getting to know that I'd like to do a walkthrough of as well. So maybe watch out for these. These are going to be coming because I love this deck. I love it. So the other oracle that I have been using and I'm still using, I have a feeling this will go on through the whole of November. Maybe towards the end I might switch. And that is Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle. I may switch to the Yule at the end of November or early December. But right now, I have been using this. Again, I just feel like it goes with everything. The way that the colors are, I'm really hoping that Yule does the same. It's got the red foil. Not foil, but gilding on the side. And then the red backs. I think Yule has the green. I'm not crazy. I've never been crazy about the gilding, but this one doesn't bother me because it's not sticky. So I don't have any troubles with it. So I think that's why I'm just kind of chill about it. This is Rockpool Publishing. But I've been loving the whole vibe of it. Like I said, I just feel like it goes with everything. Like, it's not like the Halloween Oracle, another honorable mention, which I thought I had right here, but I don't. I use that for ancestor work. I use it quite a bit this time of year. So, of course, that has been on and off my desk. And when I sit and do my ancestor work, when I do past life work around this time, when I'm connecting with the beyond, everything beyond the veil, if you will, I tend to use that. And now I have found its companion. While they don't, like, it's not like a perfect pair together, just the way that they read has been really, I don't know, like, it put me in my feels. Like, it was just perfect for what I needed. You know what I mean? And this was one that I almost gave away. I have it in my little Peggy bag because this was gifted to me by Lisa. And that's the Marguerite Peterson tarot. This is a pretty big tarot. And then I just found out that this was altered. It was, they took the borders off. And this is a huge deck. Like, this is a huge deck as it is. So apparently there's also borders on the regular version, but Lisa got it already trimmed. So this is apparently a trimmed copy. It's ginormous, you guys. But it's very abstract. And when I started reading with it a couple months ago, I read with it and I was like, this ain't it. So I put it away and I was like, I'm gonna consider it. And when I redid my tarot cabinet, I took it out and I put it into the to-go pile. And then I started going through everything and I was like, I just don't know. So I sat down and I started going through and I was like, you know what? This feels like, the way that it's abstract, it almost feels like spirit talking, almost like soul cards, right? But it has that element of the tarot in it, right? But it just seemed like soul cards in a way. And I said, you know what? Let me try with ancestor work and some shadow work and stuff like that for Samhain. And it blew my mind. It felt so clear. And like, looking at them, I'm like, there's no way. But it just did. The abstract really felt like I could hear better, right? Like, I wasn't so, how do I, like, constrained? Is that the right word? Like, I wasn't boxed in by having something that was more like people focused without it being an oracle. You know what I mean? So this I used the hell out of to do that kind of work. But I want to show you guys because I also have been using it with the kind of turning of the wheel. So the Witch's New Year, which is Samhain, it kind of resets the wheel. I have been using it with this. So this is a tarot path working the hero's journey. This came in the special edition of the New Chapter Tarot, but I've been using it with the Marguerite Peterson tarot, and I have started in on the Call to Adventure, and I've done the first threshold. Every week I am doing a different one, and trying to kind of keep on this and kind of go through all of these. Let me see how many there are. This one shows the infinity symbol. So let's see, the return home is 6, so 7. There's like 7, so like 7 weeks of this. Wow. These are really good spreads because like down here at the bottom, like you have the spread here, okay? And then you have like what it is, like basic. So it's like you as the hero, what you embody on this journey. But down underneath, it's like this is just the beginning. 1. So it kind of tells you like this is what the first card is talking about. You're still clinging to the known world. 2 and 3. So 2 is what's holding you back. 3 is what you need to carry with you. But you feel like something is missing. Have you ever gazed out of your window, somehow knowing that out there somewhere are the answers you've been seeking all along? You've been waiting for something to change, a catalyst to force you out of your comfort zone and into the unknown. This catalyst can come in the form of a moment. 5, which is the moment. How are you called? So you can see that it kind of gives you this description and puts the cards. I know that was for number 4 is the Herald, which is down here. It doesn't skip it. But this one is based on, I'm assuming, the Princess of Wands. But I used it purely focused in on what was going on, read with that, and it's definitely an eye-opener because I use this to connect with my guides around Samhain. And when I saw the hero's journey, I was like, I really want to have this kind of reset right now, because this is the time that I go within. This is my shadow work time, and I haven't done my shadow work spread just yet, which I have posted. I'll try to link it down below or up in the cards. I just thought that this would be sort of like that and just elongated, like going through this whole hero's journey, really talking this out, really going through it. So I've been using this and it is it is definitely something that I feel like I will do again. So just putting that out there. It's really, really good. Okay, on to the last two. Okay, there is another oracle. I totally forgot it was hidden underneath here. But that's okay because it goes along with this one, so we'll pull them both out. So I pulled out my Dark Woods Tarot. That's just one of my little custom bags that I made. This Dark Woods Tarot, which is amazing. They're all every which way because I read this. I read reversals. So, of course, everywhere I'm going to turn, of course, it's going to be upside down. Look at this. Oh, it's got some shine to it, but it is... Oh, it's so beautiful. This is one that I always say, like, I want this in a bigger version. I want, like, this size. Because it's so intricate. The art, the lines are such fine line work. But I use that with this one, and I've also been using this one with Mystic Masters. I've been using it as altar pieces, and that is the Witches of Legend. This is a Lisa Made Me Do It deck, because I saw this on her channel, and I immediately went by. Like, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, bought. Because I fell in love. But look at this. Oh, isn't this beautiful? It has goddesses. It has, of course, like witches. Oh, Hecate. Saraswati. Like, it reads beautiful. The pictures are beautiful. Isis. I was trying to find, like, they have Medusa, which is one of my stickers that I have in here. In my journal. It came with all kinds of goodies. So I have the sticker of Medusa in here. But I have really been loving this. The guidebook is great because it goes through not only who they are, it tells you, like, for Freya, how to pronounce it in the different ways, the meaning, and then the myths, and then any kind of personal notes. So I just really enjoy the way that it's set up. Like, even for ones, like, they have, like, Circe, they have, there we go. Baba Yaga is in here, which I really love, because there's something about Baba Yaga that, like, I just keep bumping into her. So I love the fact that she was in here, and it talks about the stories that have been told. It's like that archetype that I guess just keeps coming up for me. So I was really excited to see that the Witches of Legend are not just like goddesses and things of that nature, but also ones that are in, like Lady of the Lake, that are in stories, right? Because I feel like they still embody this type of architect and this energy that we can work with, just like Maleficent is here as well. So I've really been enjoying this. Really been enjoying this, and it's beautiful. So those are all the decks I've been using. I told you it was gonna be a mouthful. It was gonna be a lot. But anyway, we are now into November. We are trucking right along. So this month, I know I said last time that I was about to do Mystic Masters Minors. I have that in the docket. It is coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. I know I said that last time, but it is in the works. It just didn't fall in the right place. So that'll be up very soon. We'll talk about Mystic Masters Minors. I think we are going to start with the cups. So we will go on to that. I'm going to have a few walkthroughs for you guys. I haven't done that in a while, and we are going to continue our bonding series with some character development and stuff, which a lot of people have been asking about. It's one of my favorite parts. So just a little something to look forward to. If you guys are looking for me, as always, all of my links are going to be down below. How to book a reading, my Etsy shop, 3 Fat Readers, and all the things that I've talked about. As much as I can, I'm going to put down there below so you can check all that out. And I will talk to you all very, very soon. I'm sending you all my love. Mwah. Later, Gators.